All right, it is day 13. It's December 6th, and it's 39 degrees outside. And when I actually woke up I leave for work at 6 o'clock. When I left, it was 39 degrees outside, so it genuinely did not warm up one bit. It was a pretty easy day all together. We finished a couple of... we didn't finish. We just worked on some of our digging projects. It is day 13. I skipped a bunch of days, but it's because for a lot of days I was doing inventory, and I didn't really feel comfortable talking about inventorying and organizing my company's stock. I don't really feel like it's I don't feel like I should do that. Should talk about that on here, even though this doesn't have views. This doesn't really get watched. It's just something that I'm just trying to be real particular about. But anyway, so we did inventory. It was really cool. The owners of the company were really impressed because they said our inventory's never been done like that before. Me and another guy worked for 50 hours and change just to get things organized, counted, cleaned, stuff like that. So that was cool. Anyways, the last 2 days, which today is Thursday, Wednesday and Thursday we've been working on the same thing. Monday and Tuesday was organizational days, but Wednesday and Thursday we are doing this long run of it's a pair of 2-inch pipes, and it's just going to be data cables. We're not going to run any 120, any volt, any I guess you'd call it medium voltage because it's not low, but it's not high. I guess it really depends on who you talk to, but I'm not really sure where I am. Anyways, that's all right. We'll make our way. We got time. I'm on my way to the shop, to the workshop, because they have some FR clothing with my name on it. Oh, I'm going down a dirt road, so this is going to get bumpy for a minute. I think this should reconnect to the main road. If not, I'll wander for a second. Alright, so we're digging this trench. We've got about a foot long, we've got about a foot wide blade on this mini excavator. Yesterday, they dug 120 feet. It wasn't a whole lot, but we backfilled it by hand just because we had a lot of help that day, and so that way the excavator didn't have to stop digging just so it could come and backfill. Even though the excavator does backfill a lot faster, it digs a lot faster than it backfills. But we were able to backfill it pretty quickly, and it came and helped us at the end of the day. We did about 120 feet that day. We actually probably could have done more, but we hit a pipe. We didn't hit a pipe, we got to a pipe, and it took us a lot of time to go around it safely. So my job throughout the majority of the first half of the day was I was probing, which I had never probed before. Whenever we dug at my previous job, we just dug and crossed our fingers and hoped we didn't hit anything. So basically my job was to stand a reasonable distance away from the blade and stab into the ground, and I was searching for a soft spot because that would tell me that is dirt that has not been naturally packed over time, and that there is some, oh man, that was a big bump, that's dirt that's not been packed naturally over time, and it's been artificially packed, and that means that there's something underneath it. And at first I didn't even know what I was looking for, to be completely honest. I thought that I was just gonna ding and hit a pipe, or knock and hit a pipe, but the thing was is my probe was only going in an inch, maybe 2 inches at the most, so I wasn't really sure what to do. But then all of a sudden I threw my probe in and it sunk like 8-10 inches. Now I told the guy that was running the excavator, I said, hey, there's something here, be careful. And he said, get a shovel. I'm like, oh yeah, sorry. So I grabbed a shovel and I dug it out, and sure enough, it was about an 8-inch water pipe that fed these sprinklers. They would have been real expensive to fix because we weren't 100% sure even where it was running to or from, and I don't know that we had like a maintenance guy to help us find it. We would have just been digging until we found the break, whichever side it was on. So that was really cool. I was really proud that I did that, because I didn't know anything about what I was doing. They just handed me the probe and said, here you go. And I actually tried to switch with some of the guys that were digging and say, oh hey, oh hey, yeah, I'm you guys can dig I'll dig if you want me to dig, because I'm the new guy. I've been there 13 days today, and one of the guys that was digging has been there for 4 years, and so to me he should have the easy probing job and I should have been digging. But I tried to trade him. He just wasn't interested, which is fine. Anyway, so I probed for a little while, and then I dug for a little while. Now, when I was digging, now this is all yesterday, mind you. When I was digging, I dug a little bit differently than everyone else. So they would all push it. So per OSHA, there has to be, your dirt bank has to be at least 2 feet away from your trench. And they would position themselves in between the trench and the dirt bank and then twist their bodies as they toss their dirt in, which to me seemed actually a little dangerous. Like, it might hurt your sides or your back, it might overwork you, which is probably not true compared to what I did. So what I would do is I stood on the other side of the dirt pile. I'd get a hefty scoop of dirt and I would just toss it. I mean, I'd toss it 6, 8, 10 feet. And I realized pretty quickly that if I twisted my blade at the very end of my toss, that it would splay my dirt out sideways, like perpendicular to the original toss, and it would all land long ways into the thing. And the guys were real concerned with my process, because I did overshoot a few times and undershot a few times. But overall, I was counting and I was doing 3 scoops to their 1 scoop, and I really wasn't overworking myself. I mean, I worked hard, don't get me wrong, but I'm not sore today. So I like to think that I'm kind of a workhorse. Whenever you give me a project, I just jam it. You know, I hit it as hard and as fast as I can. So that was yesterday. Did a lot of digging, did a lot of probing. Today, what we had to do was we had to get into our trench went to this sidewalk, and we had to tunnel under the sidewalk. And so what we did was we made steps out for our trench. There has to be one every, I think it's 2 feet per OSHA. So we made our steps out for our trench right behind us in case of a cave-in, and then we used a sharpshooter and shovel to make sure to get under this sidewalk. I know there's a lot more tools, like a wide paddle bit is apparently really good, but I don't have a wide paddle bit. Otherwise, I would have done that for sure. But that's something that I'm interested in learning about is tunneling. I've never dug a tunnel before. There has to be a better way to do it than how we were doing it. So, because really we only need a hole that's, for 2 2-inch pipes, we only need a hole that's 8 inches wide, 6 inches wide. Yeah, it's 4 inches side to side, but you got to give them some room. So, but we really don't need that big of a hole. I went to. I just thought about something. I need to ask if I need to be clocked in, because I'm technically clocked out, but I just made the drive from the job site to here to my office. So I need to ask them if this is something that I need to clock in for. I'm not really sure how that works on labor law wise. Anyways, so we dig this tunnel, and I'm on one side, and there are 2 guys on the other side, and I hit the middle just as fast as them, and they had the sharpshooter. I didn't have a sharpshooter, which the sharpshooter had a really small handle, so I actually had to dig wider than they did. I also dug top down and wider, so that way it would be easier to find their tunnel as we got there. And it ended up working out perfectly. I didn't over dig at all, because we needed that area cleared. So the tunnel banked to the right, but I cleared the area on the left so I could get my shovel in there. And and that helped whenever we went to naturally curve that conduit around. Whenever we went to naturally curve that conduit around, I'm glad I cleared that left, because it would have been a hard left turn. We'd have had to do all that afterwards. So when it did come time to pull that conduit through, it pulled right through like it was nothing, which was cool. But so essentially, I did the work that those 2 guys did without a break, without stopping, just a workhorse, man. I really tried as hard as I could to just gun it. After we did all that, after we dug the tunnel, which I'm not really sure about confined spaces, whether or not it was OSHA compliant. We did it as safe as possible. We did step the tunnel out, or we did step the trench out, and we never put any of our head, we never put any body parts other than just the shovel and maybe the hand that was on the shovel within the tunnel. And I understand that anytime a body part enters the plane of a confined space, it's the whole body technically enters, and I understand that, but we definitely did things as safe as possible. I did mean to talk to my boss about that, the OSHA requirements, just because I'm curious. I do have an OSHA 10 card, an OSHA 10 hour, like it's a 1929, 1970. I'm not sure. It's at home. I do have an OSHA 10 card, so I should know that. I guess I need to refresh my OSHA standards. I gotta slow down. So we dug the tunnel. We got the conduit through the tunnel. We filled in the area above the tunnel. We backfilled everything, and I got to use this really cool tool, which some people called it a whacker. Some people called it a tallywhacker, which is funny. But anyway, so basically what it is, it's a little motor that controls a big piston, and that piston just slams the ground. It's kind of like a jackhammer, just with a wider surface area of what's hitting the ground. You know, a jackhammer is just a chisel that's just hammered down, and this is just a wide pad that's hammered down. What's cool about this is it's the exact same width as our blade, so filling in that trench was easy. So we filled the trench in halfway up, and then we run that thing through, and it and it, you know, beat the ground down, and then we filled it some more, did it again, filled it some more, did it again, and then we did it on the top, and we made sure to try and do it as often as we could up top, so that way so that way the ground would be there. And by the time we were done using dirt rakes and square shovels and distributing the dirt evenly, you could tell that there was digging, but you genuinely couldn't tell where the digging took place. When I went to do my last final go through, I don't even think I was on the trench because I couldn't find the trench, and that's when you know you did a good job. So let me think what else we did today. We ate at Taco Bell, which was really cool. I'm a big fan of Taco Bell. I am going to start telling just where my lunch is. I had I had one of their $5 boxes, and I refilled my Mountain Dew twice. It wasn't a very healthy meal, but according to my Fitbit, I had a full 95 minutes before 10 a.m. of work in the fat-burning heart rate. So I kind of had to pack some calories on today. I definitely could stand to lose some weight, but when I'm working hard, I really need to fuel myself. So I think that's really all. Tool of the day today, I actually didn't use any tools because I was just digging today. I was a big fan of my gloves, which are insulated. I was also a big fan of my hard hat, basically all my PPE, because a lot of the day I was standing right next to the excavator, which is just a backhoe, I guess you'd call it, or a track hoe, different names for it. Anyway, so I was standing next to the excavator all day, and I had my high visibility vest on, and I had my hard hat on, and it was just really nice to know that A, he could see me, and if he didn't see me and he caught me on the head, that hard hat was going to take a lot of the blow, which I was standing a good caution back. Like I said, I do have an OSHA card, so I understand about pinch points, and I understand about hand signals with drivers, and I definitely understand. So I got to go home today because I'm sure it just helps to have all that stuff. The hard hat, the hard hat, my high vis safety vest, and my gloves, which are all 3 PPE, are the tool of the day today. I think that's it. I got my Instagram up and rolling. I actually had a lot of fun last night. I was up really late posting stuff to Instagram. I'm gonna have to figure out how often. I'm gonna try and post at least one thing a day, but a lot of things happened today that I wanted to take a picture of, and I've kind of been putting off creating an Instagram, but I got it all done, got it all created. I think that's it. Well, have a good day. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. If it is raining or snowing while I'm driving home, I will not take a video just for safety's sake. But if it's not, if it's a nice clear day, which it's just going to be cold and windy, and hopefully it's just cold and windy. I don't want to work in the rain, but it's supposed to be a nice day, or it's supposed to be nasty tomorrow. So if it is nasty, I won't take a video, but I will be there for a video on Monday, or I may go ahead and just do a video on Friday, but after I get home, do like a tool video, or do something, as soon as I get home, spend 10 minutes just kind of going over my tools. All right, this is a long video today. Thanks, guys. Have a good day. Bye-bye.